Okay, so this is your calculating net force activity. As I go through, I'm going to be completing 2 examples just to show you exactly what you're going to be doing. And then I'm going to post these examples into Google Classroom, and this will be the document you receive to complete for this activity. So first, up here where this arrow is, be sure that you read this because this tells you what you're going to put in each box. So for each example that you see in these pictures, you're going to, in number 1, identify the direction of the forces. So are they the same direction or opposite directions? Number 2, tell me the method you would use to calculate net force for that example. Number 3, actually calculate net force. So tell me, what is the net force? And then number 4, tell me, are the forces balanced or unbalanced? And so you should know what all of this is talking about from our guided notes, but I am going to explain as I go. So in this first example, we've got a hot air balloon, and it says that we have an upward force of less dense air that is 5,000 newtons pointing up, and then gravity is pulling down on this hot air balloon with 4,000 newtons. So for number 1, is the direction of the forces going to be the same or opposite? Well, all I have to do on this is look at my arrows. Are they pointing in the same direction or opposite directions? Well, I have one that's going up and one that's going down, so those are in opposite directions. And so the answer in number 1 is always going to be either same or opposite. That's all you put. Number 2, how will you calculate net force? So if the arrows are in the same direction, we will add, and if they're in opposite directions, we subtract. So same is add, opposite is subtract. So this one was opposite direction, so I'm going to subtract. Now I'm going to actually calculate that. So I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to do 5,000 minus 4,000. 5,000 minus 4,000 equals 1,000. And it says to be sure to include your units, so make sure that you put newtons. And now we just tell, will forces be balanced or unbalanced? So remember that balanced forces, when we add or subtract them, will equal 0. Unbalanced are going to equal anything besides 0. Well, this number is not 0, so that means they are unbalanced. Okay, on the next example, we have someone pushing to the left 100 newtons on a box and someone pulling to the left 75 newtons on the box. So for number 1, is my direction same or opposite? Well, those arrows are pointing in the same direction, so it will be same. How will we calculate net force? So remember, if it's in the same direction, we add. If they're in opposite directions, we subtract. This one was the same direction, so I'm going to add those. Now I have to look and add my numbers. So I've got 100 newtons and 75 newtons. That's going to be 175. And because this number is not 0 here, 0 newtons, then I'm going to say that this is unbalanced. And that's it. This is super simple. And after doing your guided notes for this first section and doing this virtual lab that you were supposed to also do today, then you should be ready to go on this activity.